we're back. Well, earlier this year, my first guest received an Academy Award nomination for his performance in the movie Closer. Beginning next Friday, he'll be seen in the new movie Sin City. Please welcome Clive Owen. All right, thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Of course, the Oscars, you were nominated, did not come home with the statue, but I want to ask you about this. That moment where you're sitting at the Oscars and they say, and the winner is, that has to be a surreal moment.
It's the most stressful moment of that whole thing, really, because
right.
you know that moment's going to come.
Right.
And they always say, you know, what's your Oscar face? I think it's the same whether you win or lose. It's a big cheesy grin, isn't it? I mean,
that's the weird thing, is that the people often who don't win in that moment are trying so hard to be a good sport that they almost overdo it. People are like, yay! Who wants a statue anyway, you know? It's heavy. I have no room for it. What did you go with? Did you go with just smiling?
I really had the most fantastic time. I really wasn't expecting anything.
Right.
I was thrilled, delighted just to be nominated.
Right.
To go there. I felt like I'd been invited to some very special party.
Right.
And I had the most fantastic time.
And then you go back to England, and you got an award there, didn't you?
Yeah, that thing you're talking about, the reaction shot.
What award? This is a big award in England, right?
The BAFTA, yeah.
Yeah, that is your equivalent of the Oscars.
Yeah, and I was lucky enough to win, and it was a bit odd because that reaction shot you're talking about, the guy came for the reaction shot, and the winner
camera runs up, yeah, and he's right in your face.
I can't see anything. I think it was Goldie Hawn was presenting, and she goes, the music kicks in just as she announced the name, so I don't hear anything. So I'm sitting like that, waiting.
And you didn't hear your name. You didn't know that you had won, yeah.
Eventually my wife goes, it's you. But it looked for 10 seconds like I was Clive Owen.
Yeah.
That figures.
The thing is, I heard the story later on, but I saw the footage of the tape, and it's like, and the winner is Clive Owen. They cut to you, and you're just like...
Exactly like...
Yeah. Which actually is the coolest thing you could do.
I think so.
If I ever win an Oscar, I'm just going to sit there, and if they said my name, this is a real fantasy moment for me. This does not happen. I don't get a lot of roles. But you know, I would go with that. I think that was, because it looks so cool, just be like, but of course. Who else is there? Take my time. Now, this is something that's been hounding you for a while, but for easily the last year or so, all the tabloids have been saying they've chosen the next James Bond. It's Clive Owen. Every producer wants Clive Owen to do it. And what's interesting is most people would dream of playing James Bond. You don't want to do it, do you?
I've never said it. I mean, all of that has always just been rumour. It's been sort of, you know, media speculation. It's been announced a number of times that I've signed to do it. It's all been, you know, speculation. There was one time, the sort of silliest it got, is I was doing a movie where I had hair extensions and a big beard. Right. And I came out of a restaurant, I had a baseball cap on, and there was a paparazzi guy there, and they took pictures. 3 days later, that picture in a tabloid saying, Owen signs for Bond. But the thing is, they said, I was in disguise until the Broccoli's were ready to reveal me.
Really? So until it was going to be announced that they thought that you were just going to wear this wig, and they're thinking of any reason, but you don't want to do it, right? You don't...
Listen, I've been having the most fantastic time doing very varied, interesting work, and, you know, it's continuing, and I'm having a great time. So.
Right, so you're not worried about that. I just think it's a very cool rumor to have out there about you. You know what I mean? There's usually when there's a rumor, it's like, there's something funny about that guy. Or I hear Conan smells, you know, but it's like they want him to play Bond, but, you know, that's a very neat thing.
I have no problems being associated with it.
I saw Sin City the other night with one of the producers here at the show, and I was blown away by this movie. And I wouldn't say anything if this wasn't the case, but visually, of course, it's based on the comic book, graphic novels, and I've never seen a movie that looks like this. You feel like you're in one of those.
I was totally blown away. I saw it for the first time 3 days ago, and
that's right, because it's all green screen. It's all so that you didn't know what this movie was going to look like. They just had you play your part. But you didn't know what it was going to be at the end.
We had very little around us. Literally, even when we were driving cars, we were sitting on boxes with sort of steering wheels. But I sat and watched that movie, and 20 minutes in was like, wow, I had no idea I was in this movie.
Yeah.
And I honestly, and I'll tell you, we've just done like a three-day junket, and I am such a fan of the film, regardless of the fact that I'm in it.
Right.
I see it. I think it's one of the most extraordinary achievements, really.
Well, here's the interesting thing. You had to go on this junket, you had to go on this press tour and talk about how great this movie is before you had really even seen it, or you had signed up to do it, but you had just seen it. What if you had looked at it and it stunk? It was no good. And you're on this junk, what do you do then?
You lie. You say you've had the most fantastic time, you think it's fantastic, everybody's fantastic.
I see a lot of that here. There are a lot of actors sitting right where you are, oh, see Biodome 3. I think Pauly Shore and I really connected.
No, but that was the special thing about this one as well, and the people who were working the junket, the journalists, were blown away as well, so it was a very easy junket.
We have a clip here. I don't even know if there's so many complicated plots and stories. I don't even know if there's a way to set this up, or if we need to, maybe we should just give people a look. What do you think?
If it's the clip, I think it is. I think Rosario's character and my character
Rosario Dawson
have just had a row. We've got lots of dead bodies, and we've got a sort of situation out. I think I've just smacked her, and she's very violently kissed me back, because it's that kind of place.
Yeah, that's Sin City. Let's take a look.
We'll fight the cops and the mob and anybody else who tries to move in on us. We'll go to war.
Don't be stupid, Gail. You wouldn't stand a chance. Get me a car.
Who do you think you are, giving orders? You got what you wanted out of us. You got what you wanted out of me.
If I don't make it, you can have your war. A hardtop with a decent engine, and make sure it's got a big trunk.
You have a good job. You have a really good job. That was, and the women in this movie are absolutely stunning, and you see a lot of them.
You do.
Yeah. Lucky, lucky you. Oh, to be Clive Owen. Sin City opens on April 1st. You should see this movie. It's really something. Great having you here. Thanks a lot for being here. Good man. Clive Owen, everybody. Steve Carell is coming up from The Office. We'll take a break. We'll be right back.